How about now? Can you hear me now? I was saying, hello, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. Hello to you all. I went down the whole list and read off your names and said hello. So we won't do that again. So to the new ones coming in, welcome. Donna, Sharon, everybody, welcome, welcome, welcome. I did, Linda, I did go down and read all your names. MJ, Casual Mike. I guess we can do it again. Yes, ma'am. Ginger, Liz, Rena, Cher, Holly, Gaspé Gal, and I hope I don't miss any. Camilla, Odessa, and it was nice to meet you too, and others. Melissa, Angelina, Old Garden Gal. Casual Mike, Donna, MJ, Old Garden Gal. I think I already said. There, Sharon. I hope I didn't miss anybody. If I did, I apologize. So we are here today to discuss the search that took place on Monday. Actually, it took place on Monday today Sunday. I think I put Monday too in my, oh my. I'm getting my days mixed up. I slept all day yesterday. I was completely exhausted. It was Sunday. Sunday was the first day of the search, and that was the day that I was there, and my son was there, who was one of the searchers, and my husband was there. And and then they went back out Monday and then today, and I believe they're going back out tomorrow as well. That's what I was told from the horse's mouth, Nick. So, and of course, all of that's always tentative, right? But that was the last that I heard. So we're discussing Lily Sullivan, who is 7 years old now, Jack Sullivan, who is 5 years old now, last seen May 1st, 2025, reported missing May 2nd, 2025, from Garlock Road, Lansdowne, Nova Scotia, and there is a $150,000 reward. And this is where the search has been taking place the last few days with Please Bring Me Home, which is an organization out of Ontario who works on certain cases that they are asked to work on to assist in locating missing individuals. Typically, it's cold cases, but with this case, this is not a cold case. So, so we'll remove that so you guys can see me, and we'll get into some of the topics here. Some of the topics. Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Lynn, hi. Adele, I think that's how that's spelled. Lori, Nova Scotia. Now, any of you guys so we have Holly, Lori, Odessa, and I hope I didn't miss any in the chat, who were active searchers on the search for Lily and Jack Sullivan. If any of you would like to come up on panel with me, you don't have to show your face. You just click on, it'll say camera, you just click that off and it'll just be your voice. I would love to have you come up. Could be more than one, could be a couple of you if you want. I would love to have you come up as we go over what I'm going to go over today. Nani, hi. No Mercy, Shy, Strawberry Wine, Joyous. Don't know if we have anybody new there. You guys are just chatting away. Thank you, Lori. So I will put, and it doesn't even have to be one of the searchers. Whoever wants to come up on panel with me as we go through this information, you're certainly welcome. I will put the link in the chat. Hi, Linda. And you guys. Wait now. Was that the right one? Yes, it was. There. So if anybody wants to come up, come on up. I'm okay with it. Thank you to all our searchers who searched over the last few days, because it wasn't just Sunday, it was also Monday, today, and I guess tomorrow as well. Like I said, hi, Sky Painter. And I mean, no matter what anyone thinks of the search, we have to be thankful to the people, boots on the ground, doing what they're doing and searching. You know, putting the efforts in, because at the end of the day, no one knows what took place with Lily and Jack, and you want all avenues covered. And you know, if they're not out there of their own volition, the more and more the searches take place, the more and more it's, as I said, no evidence can be the evidence, because obviously when there's no boots, no clothing, no backpack, no pull up, no nothing found, there's kind of something wrong with that as well, right? It was a great day, lots of great people. I'd definitely sign up to search again. Exactly. My son said the same thing. In fact, he wanted to be able to go back for tomorrow, but he's also in the middle of looking for a job, and he already had things lined up for tomorrow. So he was really disappointed, though. He said, "I really wish I could go." He was conflicted, and Holly was there, and Odessa was there. If there's anybody else here that was there as a searcher and I missed you, please let us know. I would love to, but I'm still exhausted and I'm having a little lay down while I listen. Yeah, I can imagine how exhausting that was. I didn't search, I served food. I did walk around a little bit as best as I could with my cane. But just the activity of what I did wore me out pretty good. I slept all day yesterday. I feel like I lost a whole day. I was really confused on the days. My son was as well. He came over for supper today, and he was a day behind. Yeah. Lori. Yeah. Yeah. Lori's foot was quite bloody, and I seen a picture of Shan too, and Shan had quite a bloody face. I don't know what happened there, if she fell and whacked her nose or what took place there, but yeah, something happened. Yeah, exactly, Shy. They just didn't disappear. Yeah, but what took place, none of us really know, right? There's so many things that could have taken place. So I'll start off by saying I spent my day at now you guys probably seen it on the news. We will pull the news clip up if you didn't, so you can actually have a visual of what I'm talking about. I spent my day at the truck with the food in it on ice and the hot drinks and stuff. And then we would make lunches. So we would fill the bags up and with the sandwiches, the cheese, the hot rod sticks, and there was muffins there too. And so we would do the lunches up. And a gentleman, and I don't know who he is, would come on the four-wheeler. And so I made sure to take a cooler. So we had the cooler there. And hi, Johnny. Johnny's a searcher as well. I'm sorry, the chat didn't go down, and I didn't realize there was new people coming in. I just got it to go down. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Yeah, so, um aw, thanks, Lori. I'd say you guys rock. You guys rock. Yeah, I remembered the baggies because somebody was like, "I just wish we had a thought of baggies," and I was like, "Oh, I did." I bought like 3 boxes of them, and I made sure they were the big ones, big enough for those sandwiches. Um, yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? And I mean, it's comfort too when you know someone's helping to take care of you while you're out there doing such hard work, which it is. Yeah, like, uh, yeah, so we were, my husband and I, that was our job to stay at the truck there at the entrance of the pipeline trail, and that would be the area where the individual on the four-wheeler, and I hate to say that, I didn't catch his name. I'm not sure who he was because I'm so focused on the task at hand. I'm like, okay, we need to get these sandwiches packed, get them in the cooler quick on, be quick to keep everything on ice and not let the meat warm up, and you know what I mean, and get this done by the time he gets back. We want to have these done because he's ready to go again, and we made sure to take a cooler and ice, and so um so yeah, so that was Matthew. Okay. Okay. And I feel really bad because I'm so focused on the task at hand. I didn't go, "Oh, what's your name?" I was talking to him. I offered him a lunch and or a coffee and a tea, or asked him what he wanted and stuff, but I just didn't catch his name. But anyways, just the way things go in this case, apparently it was thought that was me standing there because people seen that on the news and then they took pictures of it, right? A still picture. It was thought that was me standing there with Brian Ward, the bus driver. And hi, Valerie. Brian Ward, the bus driver, and Brad Wong. So if you guys hear that rumor, please correct it. It's my husband in the plaid jacket, and apparently that's Matthew. And I couldn't say what his name was when I was being asked that. I was like, well, I don't know his name, but I don't think it's Brad Wong because he doesn't look like him. But even if it was, who cares? I don't care. To me, it's the guy who's taking the sandwiches to feed the boots on the ground that need to be fed. Darren Power went off, lost my connection. Thank you to all the searches. Oh, thank you, Angelina. And yeah, so if you guys hear that rumor, correct that, please. That it was my husband and I at the truck packing lunches, and Matthew was taking the cooler on the four-wheeler to deliver the lunches. There was no Brad Wong or Brian Ward with me at the food truck. Not that it matters, but Diesel Weasel, hi. Hello there. Gas Bay Girl. So I counted at the hotel. There was 38 there. And there was already a group there at the pipeline, which I don't know how big each group is, but I just estimated that, okay, well, that's probably about 10 people that are probably already at the pipeline. So I thought, okay, well, that's around, I'm going to say between 45 and 50, because there were 38 people in that room. Plus, I know I didn't count all the ones in the room because at the time there was like some people that weren't in there yet, or some people went off to the bathroom, or whatever the case may be. So I would say maybe Johnny has an actual number. I knew Nick would have had the actual number. I was just going by what I had counted. Yeah, I thought that was awesome too. There was definitely more than there was the last search for sure. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So yeah, so my day, yeah, you have to be open-minded because none of us know what took place, right? We don't. We really don't. So my day was spent there at that truck. We'll just call it the food truck. That's I was calling it the drive-through food truck. Um, oh, Ginger, thank you. And by the way, I have all the receipts to show you guys how much the food costs. The food came to. It came to a little tiny bit over what we had initially, but I was going to add my donation too of $100. So I just put an extra, I think it was maybe 20. So I put like another 20 in, and then that it came like we really came close to exactly the amount we had. That was so cool. I thought that was so cool. Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll play our happy song, Madagascar. Hello. No, mad as a catter. Mad as the catter. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, so I will show you guys the receipts. I forgot to take the pictures to show you today, but on the next live we'll do that. Yeah, did pretty good actually. Nope, wrong one. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So the money, it worked out perfect. It honestly couldn't have worked out any more perfect. I was like, wow, that's awesome. Uh-huh. And hi, Susie Mac. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. But you still have to show people though. It's only right to show people and let them know that this is where this went, this is where that went. And that's how I always did everything anyways, anytime I've volunteered to do anything. Yeah, so I spent the day at the truck there. So then CTV showed up and he wanted to, his name is Jonathan McGinnis, and he wanted to do an interview with Nick and get some shots of the searchers. Well, he kind of showed up late, so he kind of missed the ball on that one. Because by the time he showed up, the searchers were gone and Nick was off, checking on doing his checks and stuff and finding out who wanted food and whatnot. So I said, well, he'll probably be back. Like, if you want to wait for a bit and see if you can catch him when he loops back around, because they will be back for food. And so he's like, okay, well, I'll just stay here for a bit with you guys if you don't mind. We were like, no. And so that's my husband and I, right? And my husband helps me with everything because I'm not supposed to I'm not supposed to lift anything over 5 pounds. I do try to adhere to that. With my grandson, I have to admit, of course, I end up going outside of my limits. But I guess that's to be expected. And my mobility, because of my left side, it gets worn out pretty quick, my left side. And so there's certain things he has to help me with. But so he did most of the work. Thank God when we got to the hotel, everyone come out and helped to carry everything in, because you guys seen the load of food. I had taken pictures already and put the pictures up. It was quite a bit of food, but yeah. So Jonathan from CTV stayed with us pretty much all afternoon. And so here comes Nick. Nick is coming back, and I'm thinking, okay, well, here he comes. You're going to get your interview. Well, Nick put his finger up as if to say, 1 minute, I'll be right back. And he continued up the pipeline. He was checking to see those guys up there if they were hungry and needed food or drinks yet. And then he came back down. But when he came back down, only Matthew was on the side-by-side. Nick stayed up there with the search group. And so the CTV guy's like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to get this interview. Anyway, so he went for a little drive with Matthew on the ATV and got a shot of that. And then he came back. He waited a little bit more for if any for Nick or if any searchers had, come back and were around. Anyway, so that didn't happen. Like the searchers, they gave it their all. They continued on. They, like I was surprised. There was no searchers coming out of those woods. They were continuing on. They were giving it their all. And Nick stayed with them. So in the end, he took some video of the dog handler, whose name is Bob, and the dog's name is Holly. And they ended up staying with us. So it was myself, my husband, Jonathan from CTV News, Bob, the dog handler, and the dog who would be in and out of the car. And, we'd all be talking to her and whatnot. All of us pretty much spent the whole afternoon together at the food truck. And we had lots of conversation that went on, of course, regarding Lilly&Jack, all based around Lilly&Jack, and lots of conversation about Holly, who is a licensed cadaver dog. So lots of chat about that. Lots of chat about some areas that we'll get into that in a minute. But anyways, so long story short, with CTV guy, he didn't get the interview he wanted. So next thing I know, I'm watching this ATV news, and I had no idea he had taken pictures of us, and I had no idea that he had taken video of us. And that's what he ended up putting on his CTV interview, was a picture and a video of my husband and I and Matthew, now that I know his name, at the truck. I knew he was going to do the dog handler because I seen him doing that. But what was the... What? No, this was after he was done. He was out there. He had been out there. He's out there for 3 days, and he might be out there today again too. So the day that we were there, he was already out there the day before and the day before. He's 70 something. My husband had a great conversation with him. He's in his early 70s, and he was done for the day. He was like when we got there, he had just come out of the woods then, and he was wore out. Like you only go until you can't go any further, and he was wore out. But he had to stay because he has to talk to Nick to tell Nick what he, if he found it, he has to have that discussion with him at the end of the day before he leaves the site. So that's what he was doing. No, he wasn't just there wasting time. No, he was done. Poor old guy was the beat. Aw, thank you. Yeah, he was beat. God love him. And he was even saying, come on, Nick. Oh my God, will you please come back? I'm so tired. I just got to go home and lay down. He was beat. And he goes out early, right? Before the searchers get out there. Yeah. And so he'd be out there the whole time that Nick is there. So I'm sure he's back out today, and he'll be back out tomorrow too. Anyways, so while we're on the topic of him, he By the way, that's why my husband and I ended up on the news. Unbeknownst to us, we had no idea that he was putting us on the news. But we kind of chuckled because I was like, oh my God, he waited all day to get his interview. He didn't get it. He couldn't get a shot of the searchers. So he ended up just taking a shot of us and putting that on the news. And, but we weren't searchers. We were just the food packers. But yes, so to the dog handler, like I said, Holly is licensed, certified. Sorry. She goes to Ohio in the US to be certified. So she is a certified cadaver dog. And excuse me, she's a hound dog. She is, just one second. I meant to put the picture up for you guys. So that's actually her in the picture there that you can see. She's 2 years old. And as I said, she's certified. She goes to Ohio to be certified. She's absolutely precious. She did not like my husband because she has a male handler, and she didn't like that. Like, she'd just kind of not bark, but just make noise to let my husband know. She did not like him, but she was a little more friendly with me. Yes, she is a beautiful dog. And that is the dog handler, Bob. And so what he told me was that there were 2 areas of interest that the dog found. And I asked him what was there. What was it? And he said, I'm sorry, I was asked not to say what it is, but our CMP are aware, and they had the coordinates, and they were going to be going to look at these 2 areas. And I don't know if it's something in the ground that he's talking about, or if it's something he physically saw, something like found something. But and that was just that day. What happened after that, yesterday, today, and tomorrow, I don't know. But I do know that there were 2 areas of interest that were found with him and his dog that were passed on to our CMP. So part of the conversation as we were talking, the group of us, like I said, it was myself, my husband, Jonathan from CTV, and Bob. And we get into the conversation of Lily's doll, which you see on the screen there. Sorry, you guys can still hear me, can you? I hope. Hi, Tambourine. And so you see Lily's doll there. So we get into conversation, and I said, are you aware that she may have a doll with her? It was unaccounted for, and they're not certain if she has it with her, but she may have it with her. And he said, no, I wasn't. And I was like, oh, I said, everybody should be aware of what, is the children possibly have. And anyways, I said it had a little black, and I said either purple or pink outfit on. I said, I can't and I didn't have my phone because my son had to use my phone for this, for the search, because his fiance, who went to Newfoundland, had to take his their phone with her. So he borrowed mine. So I couldn't pull the picture up to show him what it looked like, but I was trying to describe it to him, and I couldn't remember if it was pink or purple, but I was saying like it's a little doll outfit. And he said, well, he goes, now that's interesting. he said, because the areas that I'm just, talking about where the RCMP or have the coordinates to go look, he said there's a little shiny piece of material there. And he said it was like either purple or pink. It was like a girly color, he said. And he said, I couldn't understand, like, what would that be? He said, but now that you say that, a doll, he said, I could picture that what I was looking at could actually be for a doll. Yeah, the Monster High doll. Anyways, and that's not to say that that's what it is. Our CMP will go look at whatever it is that he found in the coordinates that him and the dog found, and they'll go look, and that material's within those coordinates. So they'll see it too themselves. I have no idea, but he said it's like a shiny. He said just a little piece. He said it's not clothes that would fit a kid or anything. It didn't come from anything like that. But like he said, it's just a piece of material, smaller in size, and he said it had like a shininess to it. So I thought, okay, well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, so he did tell me that. And I outright asked him, I said, well, what are the other two things that you're just talking about that you, that the dog came across? And he said, I cannot say. They asked me not to. And he said, and I'm going to follow that. I really can't say. And so I left it there. I wasn't going to bug him, but yeah. Yeah. So I guess we'll have to wait. Now, one thing Nick did do after the last search, he did that. It was like afterwards, he went on Facebook and discussed the whole search and results of the search, things like that. So hopefully he'll do that again. And, he may be able to discuss what it is, the hits that the dog had. So we'll wait on that. Excuse me. Cool Jay, I saw that you had set up there who paid for the cadaver dog. I don't know if it is paid for. I have no idea if it's paid for, if it's volunteer. I don't know. That's part of things that Please Bring Me Home themselves would know. I don't know anything about the finances of any of that. What's actually volunteer work? Is there areas where they have to pay for certain things? Don't know. All I care about is the search itself and that those that are missing are located. What's with the black Under Armour pants? The reports were always that Jack was only wearing pull-ups. When I saw what was on that, I was shocked myself. I don't know. It did start off with Jack with a pull-up the first day. And then after that, it changed to pants, but not really a specific color. And then we were given black Under Armour pants. And now that's the outfit. And the only thing I can think of is that as you're going through things and sorting through it and trying to remembering the outfits, that your children have, and you're finding stuff and going, oh, there's those black jogging pants there, so it can't be those he has on. And then eventually you come to the conclusion that that outfit is not in the bag or, amongst the stuff of Jack's. That's the only thing when I think that through, that would be logical to me, right? Because I know if my kids get up in the morning and they dress themselves, I would have to go look and go through those clothes to see what it is that they have on. Would it be the very first thing that I do? No, because my focus would be on trying to find them and getting those there that have to help me to find them. And then it would be, when I'm probably prompted to that, okay, Mom, can you go down and go through the clothes so we can get a really good description of what they were wearing? So, we need that now. Yeah. We also need to remember that two of Margie and Ron's grandkids, 5 and 6, a couple weeks back, they found the kids by following their tracks. Not sure how far from the pipeline. Yeah, I don't think they went up the pipeline. I think it was like in their yard. And yeah, but they wandered off. So, I mean, that tells you something. Like, kids will do it, right? Kids will do it. They were able to follow their tracks, though. Who cares who paid for it? Yeah, we're very grateful for their service for these babies. Yeah. Yeah, they did go. They went missing, but they found them. Yeah, it was always, I see what you're saying. It was always that she had pink pajama. I thought it was pink pants. Oh, I'd have to look it up. Oh, okay. You heard beige pants and top too. Okay. Yeah. So see what I mean? Like, they probably eventually came to that conclusion that that's what was missing, because you have to get all the clothes too, right? They were all in bags. So you have to get all that stuff and then pick through it all. And I mean, to me, it shouldn't take that long. Like, that should be something that should have been figured out way back. It's kind of important, but under all the circumstances of what we know took place, I can see why in this situation it would have taken longer. In my opinion, I agree. I don't think anything found or hit on should even be brought up in a conversation, just in case. Yeah. And he wasn't telling, and I wasn't pushing. So as soon as he said he was told not to say anything, that was the end of it for me. Yeah, I respected that. It should be what they were last seen wearing, not what's missing. That must be what they were wearing. Yeah, well, you would think, but what if you find those clothes, right? So if my kids went to bed with, SpongeBob pajamas on, let's say, and then they go missing the next day, and once the chaos starts to settle down some, like, the phone calls you have to make, the looking for them as much as you can yourself, getting 911 there, going through everything with their questions. Finally, you go to get to check to see, okay, go check the room to make sure that SpongeBob SquarePants pajamas are not in there somewhere. And lo and behold, you find them. And then what? Now you have to try to figure out, oh God, this isn't what they were wearing. What do they possibly have on? I guess is how my brain works. But I hear you. Hello, JJ. I hear what you're saying. Yeah. Cool, Jay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Cool J. You are so cool. Cool J is cool. Thank you. That's sweet. Yeah. So I guess that's where my mind goes on that. Yeah, so kind of Cool J and Ginger, both 10 memberships. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are great. Such a nice way to pay it forward. Okay. Anybody have any questions about the dog handler? It was really nice to spend time with him. And, of course, we all get into conversations of what, is this possible? Like, we're all standing there. You guys, those woods are so thick. Like, even to look at that on when you see it on video and when you're there right in front of it, I can't even explain it. I just like it's so thick. Yeah, I hear you, Cool J. I hear you because your mind tries to process it, right? Because it's like, okay, pull black jogging pants. Okay, brown pants. It's like, where's Lily's pants? Lily's pants aren't on there now. Like, what's going on, right? Like your brain's trying to process it. Yeah, the bush is so thick, like you can't even imagine unless you're looking at it yourself. And it's been a long time since I was out there. I had explained before that my ex-husband, he had family that lived out that way on the Matheson Road. And that to me, those roads seem a little bit wider than they used to be. Like the road where the pipeline trail and where the blanket would have been further up the road, that road is big. That is a nice, wide, open road. So it's very hard for me to believe that if two kids were on that road and at the line, when they went missing at that time, the pipeline, it was filled in, it wasn't cut. It's very hard for me to believe that a child would wander off that road. It's a nice wide open road. It's huge. I just can't imagine that a child would then go, okay, let's veer off this way into the never ending woods over here. Trying to click on, there we go. Wouldn't let me click on it. Most times we were using our bodies to push through the trees. It is that thick. Yeah. Like there's not a spot that is missed because it's evergreen and then every other kind of bushy tree. It's like not like if you could picture what a hedge looks like and then put a bunch of evergreens in through those hedges. That's what you're going through. It's like not here's an open spot. I can get in here. No, it's like as thick as a hedge. You know how some people have like a lilac hedge and then they cut it down and it's like a wall, made with that hedge. It's like that with a bunch of evergreens also in there. And there's not one spot that's missed. There's just no, when you look at it, you're just like, there'd be no reason for a child to decide to veer off into this on this open road. And even when you think of it the other way, them coming around and through the back of the trailer, coming up that way and then hitting the pipeline that way. Well, why would they come down? Because that's on the other side of the road. So then the theory would be that they walked down, come off the pipeline, got up on that nice big open road, and then crossed straight over and went back on the pipeline. No, doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Like, if they're in those woods, there's no way that I can believe that they went in there on their own. I just can't with what I saw, being right there and seeing it. So the discussion that I had, the discussion, with CTV, Jonathan, dog handler, my husband, we were all in agreement. No way. No, not. Guys, give me 1 sec. I'm trying to, there we go. My laptop's not cooperating with me. Hi, Sammy. Did the search include water? Yes, it did. Yeah, but that is the specific search that the volunteers didn't do the water. It's specific people that are trained for that are going to check certain areas with water. So yes, it did, or does, because they're out there again today, and he said they're going to try to get back out tomorrow too. So, in my opinion, I still think they should drain or dredge most of the ponds that looks sneaky away from area, in my opinion, just in case someone took them off property. You know what? Why not? Like, I agree. Everything should be done that can be done. And why not? I mean, when 2 kids go missing and it's in an area that everywhere you turn, there's a pond or a lake. Yep. Drain what can be drained. Wherever there could be waist deep water, in my opinion. Yeah. In my opinion, also anyone with a fish sonar, or boats, look in bigger waters. Yep. Well, my husband has both. Hey, everyone. Hi, Nessa. Hope your week is going good so far. Not bad. Yeah, pray for answers and the searchers, and there's still searchers out there today and tomorrow too, I believe. Hi, little black bear. Wow. Hi, Novah. I'm really late. Oh, don't worry about that. You can go back. Gypsy, hello. Hello, all. Justice for Jack and Lily. Yes, indeed. Susie Mack. And if Lily didn't like bugs, she wouldn't have wanted to go through the woods. Oh my gosh, no. It just, if you could be in front of those woods and see what those children would have been looking at, you'd just be like, come on now. Come on. And again, the pipeline was grown up, filled in. It wasn't mowed at that point, or whatever they do to make that a pathway. It just doesn't make sense for them to be on a road or even come off a pathway and get on that road and then cross over. None of it makes any sense. The RCMP must have realized very quickly, like, something's not right here. And abduction is still on the table, as far as I'm concerned. They said everything is on the table. They didn't say abduction didn't happen. They've always said there's no evidence of an abduction. Yes, do that later. Stevie Wonder, hi. Stevie was also in the search. He was in my son's search group. Hi, Novah. I'm from work. It was an honor to search for Jack and Lily. Colleen and I searched alongside with your son. He is a great guy. I'll send you a short video of our search. Oh, thank you. You can send it. If you're on my Facebook, I think you are. You can just send it to my Facebook. He talked about you quite a bit, actually. Yeah. 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 If you want to send it to my messenger, go ahead, Stevie. Yeah. Yeah. He talked about you quite a bit. He was saying, yeah, you're a great guy as well. He's that he really likes you. If you want to come on, I'll put the link in the I'll put the link in. You don't have to show your face. You just press the camera off. But if you want to come on and talk about the search and your thoughts, I'll put the link in there if you want to. And I can pull your video up as well. And yeah, that's what I usually do too. Yes, ma'am. I'll play it on like 1.5 or even 2. So if it's Justin, I'll put it on 2. He's like me. He's not a fast talker. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, I'll skip the intro. I'll be like, "All right, don't need to watch the intro. Don't have to watch all the hellos." Um, yeah, no worries, no worries. Don't worry. I invited anybody who wants to come on to come on. So I just wanted to make sure I extended that to you as well. But we'll pull your video up because I'm going over to my messenger to pull a video up that I took as well. A couple videos I took. And thank you for your searching and sacrifice. Yeah, it is a sacrifice. It's hard work. Very hard work. All right, so we went over the cadaver dog. Explain to you guys about Jonathan from CTV spending the afternoon with us and ended up just, I guess, taking a video of us and putting it on there, which I didn't know he did. But anyways, so I will play the CTV. We'll play the CTV and we're going to also play the Globe and Mail. And we're also going to talk about CBC. We're going to talk about CBC and we're going to talk about Globe and Mail after we go over the the media here. So, because I have some discussion there to have with you guys about that. And Stevie Wonder, thank you for sending the video as well. Detective Tam, hi. Barb, hi. In my opinion, they did not wander. They've been put there. Yeah, and that's the thing, like, people say, "Well, if you don't believe that they wandered out there," but I mean, there's many things that could have happened, we don't know, but obviously, there is the nefarious aspect to this that could have taken place. My son knew, he himself said to me, "One of the things that I'll be looking for," he said, "most likely, them more so than the fact that they wandered out there, is that to look for anything that looks freshly unearthed or unusual in that way." And I said, yes, you have to do that as well. And then he told me today, he said, as soon as I hit those woods, I knew, he said, that we're more so looking for not signs of the kids wandering out there on their own, but more so the fact that they could be buried out there somewhere. I hate to say that, but right. And he knew that even more so. He said, once you're in there searching, you just know. No, those kids didn't come in here. No way. Yeah, it's so sad. But again, we don't know what happened. So we have to be careful in what we say. It's all speculation and in our opinion. But we just know that things look very odd. And as I said, everything's on the table. Who's to say at the end of the day that somebody didn't come along and take them, maybe not for a nefarious reason, maybe for reasons, that they felt sorry for these children and thought, the hell with this, I'm getting them out of here to something better. Like, who knows, right? Um, yeah. Hi, Colleen. Hi, Novah, and everyone. Your son is an amazing young man. You should be proud. Enjoyed working alongside him. Well, thank you. He loved you guys too. Thank you so much. I really am proud of both my boys. They my gosh, they're nice young men. Really am proud of them. And thank you for saying that. Thank you. Liz, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. I love the pay it forwards. Love it, because it gives it a chance to remember. Thank you, Liz. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Yeah, the whole situation really is heartbreaking. It really, really, truly is so heartbreaking. Yeah. Novah, you must be so proud you had a son out there. I got my application in late, maybe next time. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And hopefully for May 2nd. Yes. So, and I want to remind everyone of that too. The May 2nd, I'll bring that poster up at Stellarton RCMP. Gathering of the Hearts for Lilly&Jack Sullivan. Yeah, I have 3 children. They love the woods and still would not have wandered into that. Exactly. I mean, it's just, yeah. Yep. Very important. How is the food going for searchers? The food went over well. I would say it's probably all gone by now. I at the end of the day, first day, there was 1 tray, well, probably 1.5 because we took what was left on one and put it onto another. And there was still muffins left, breakfast bars, and that was all given to Nick for the following day. So the food is probably all gone by now, but it did them for the first 2 days, which were the bigger days for searching, right? He couldn't thank me enough, you guys. And he said to thank you guys. And he said, you guys have no idea. You guys have no idea how much this helped. He said to not have to worry about that. It was all taken care of, even baggies and ice. Like he said, you're amazing because he was even worried about that, like ice for the food and baggies. And we did it all. We did everything. And he was like, you just have no idea. And then we packaged up all the lunches, put it on ice in a cooler and put it on that 4-wheeler or the side-by-side. Like he said that helps so much. It just takes a big chunk off of their plate. And then they're only focused on the search then. They're not worried about the other part of it because that's all taken care of. Yeah. Yeah, I have 3 boys. Well, young man, yeah, 23, 26, 25-year-old. Oh, wow. You're starting all over. Dogs can only work for a little while at a time. Exactly. Yeah. Like as he was there with us, he would take the dog back out for a bit and then come back and take a break and give the dog had a sandwich too. And we fed the dog too. Hi, Cheryl. Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you wish. I hope MBM will be there to shame all the damn trolls. Yeah. Well, they'll just come up with other stuff to say. I just try to remain neutral and let things play out and just be supportive. You're very welcome, Novah. This is one of the biggest case ever in Canada. Yep. Jack and Lily, justice for the children. Yep. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. You just have to rule everything out, but it comes to finding answers for children. Yeah. When it comes to finding answers for children. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. They had coffee, tea, water, Gatorade. Cheryl took the Gatorade. She had told me that she already had it, so I didn't bother to buy any. Yeah, they had everything. They had everything. Yeah. The whole kit and caboodle. The food was the best I've ever eaten. Those sandwiches were beautiful. Or I was just that hungry. The sandwiches were so good. They made really good sandwiches. I was so impressed. I said to my husband, I'll be so disappointed if they send us these skimpy sandwiches. They were thick with meat. And then great big cartons of olives. Not many people like olives, but yeah. So, not that I want to ignore any of your guys' comments because I know they're all absolutely awesome. You were mad as a catter. It's great. It was more organized this time. Thank you. And you chatters for such a gracious act of kindness. Yeah, because it was the family here on this channel and they are of other channels as well in the community in this community that covers the Lily and Jack case. It was them who gave. I mean, I donated as well, and Daphne did from Daphne's case files. Yeah. So, yep. Yes, the food and drink was amazing. Lots to go around and delivered hourly. Yeah. Yeah. Nobody was going hungry. And that means a lot when you know you're being taken care of. Yeah. Oh, I love all olives. I love them. Oh, there's some olive lovers. I used to be the only one in the house, but my husband eats them now. All right, so we'll go over to the news. So first, since I was explaining to you about the CTV and him not getting what he wanted as far as what he wanted to capture, he ended up taking a picture and video of us, which, like I said, I had no idea. Not that I care. I don't care. But I just kind of chuckled because I was like, oh, that poor guy. He did not he didn't get the interview we wanted with Nick or any of the searchers. So here in the end, I guess we were the best he could do. But it's all about Lily and Jack, and that's the story, right? That's the story. Lily and Jack. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. It's not very long. It's just a short one. Air teams. Why is it saying? Oh, those are other. Well, I guess this isn't. And there's Jonathan right there. Jonathan McGinnis, journalist, CTV News. So he was the guy that spent the afternoon with us. And that's us there. Like I said, I didn't realize he even took a picture. My belly is not that big. My jacket wasn't zippered up. It was open, and that's the flap sticking out, and it makes me look like I'm pregnant. So search continues almost 1 year later. Lilly and Jack Sullivan go missing. So just a second, guys. I'm going to try and get the video up.
I could never date somebody that doesn't like dogs.
If you don't like dogs, you have a problem.
Yeah, you have serious.
How do you not like dogs?
Oh, right there.
We got 3 here.
We'll do anything to help dogs in need.
Until every dog has a safe place.
Searchers were back in the woods in Lansdowne Station, Nova Scotia, Sunday, as the search for Lilly and Jack Sullivan continues almost 1 year after the siblings were first reported missing. About 50 people scoured the woods looking for any sign of the 6- and 4-year-old. A cadaver dog was also part of the search. The Sullivan children were reported missing from their Gairloch Road home on the morning of May 2nd, 2025. A large air, ground, and water search took place, but the 2 children have never been found. The weekend search was conducted by the Ontario-based group called Please Bring Me Home. The province of Nova Scotia is offering a reward of up to $150,000 for information about their disappearance. Woods looking for any sign of this.
Yeah, so right there, so that's me. That's where all the food was. By that time, there was only, like I said, 1 tray of sandwiches left because we did all the lunches up. You see the cooler on back of the side-by-side? That's our cooler that we had with ice. This is my husband with the black and white jacket on. That is not the bus driver, Brian Ward. And I just found out this other fella here who was very nice. I had obviously chatted with him and asked him if he wanted a drink and a sandwich and stuff. He was driving the side-by-side to deliver the lunches we had did up in, because we did all the lunches up. And we had tongs, by the way. Nothing was touched with our fingers. Yeah, and his name is Matthew. That is not, what's his name? Brad Wong. That's not Brad Wong. So if you hear anybody saying those rumors, please correct them. I mean, not my husband and I laughed our heads off when I got the message saying that. And I was like, oh, for heaven's sakes. Whatever, just foolishness. But, oh, thanks, Sharon. Sorry, great job, Novah. Will you food truck be coming to anytime? Love to try your sandwiches. Well, they weren't my sandwiches. It was the Superstore did them up. It's called the large sandwich tray. They did them up. There's I believe 22 sandwiches on a tray, and there was 5 of them. And then there was the Superstore, those nice muffins. And there was a cheese tray and a meat and cheese tray. And then the coffee and the tea. Newfoundland. Yeah. And, yeah, so, but, yeah, so then I just called because people would come over and go, how are things going? What are you guys up to? And I'd say, oh, well, this is just a drive-through food truck. So are you hungry? Do you want a sandwich? Do you want a hot drink? Do you need water? Yeah. So, yeah, like the dog handler, when he come out of the woods, well, we fed him and the dog. and he had a nice hot tea, and he was so thankful to have that. Yeah, somebody was saying there about being bundled up, layered up. Yeah, because I had a t-shirt on, a shirt, then a hoodie over that with the pockets in the front, the pouch, and then my jacket over that. So I was pretty layered up, and then I was getting hot, so I unzipped my jacket because that jacket is one of those jackets I can't far north, or I can't even remember the name of it, but it doesn't let the wind go through, which I was very happy I wore because it ended up being really windy there, more so than in town. Yeah. It wasn't a bad day. It was really nice, like at the hotel where the initial meeting was. And like in the conference room, which is just around the corner from where I live. It was actually really nice, but it was windy in Lansdowne, like on this road there. Like you can see my hood on my jacket, see how the wind is blowing it up onto the back of my head. Like it was windy there. So I was really glad that I wore that jacket because it's windproof. But it's not layered inside. It's just like you can get where you zip the inside in it too, and it makes it warmer. So I had to layer up and then put that jacket over it. Yeah, I think that's it. North Face. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh yeah, the wind can be brutal. Like when we first got there, I was like, "Whoa!" I'm glad I wore this jacket and my hat. I'm glad I wore my hat. No, you never know what the weather's going to be like, and from one spot to the next. I mean, you're still in Pictou County, but the wind, the difference from Stellarton to going out to Lansdowne, wow. Yes, Newfoundland too is like that. Yeah. Yeah. I think all the Atlantic provinces are. Did anyone see JM or DM? Well, I have a little video of the house I'm going to show you. And there were family members driving by as we were here. But they honestly were kind of really minded. That big red truck that drove by a couple of times. It went down, back up, and then down, and then back up. He was driving normal and just didn't really bother anybody and didn't look at us or anything. And then there was another truck, a black one, that went by a couple of times. But when it went by us, it sped up a bit so that the dirt would stir up some. And like we just kind of shook our heads, and my husband just went, "Oh, idiot." And then the other vehicle that went by, it was like looked like a red caravan or kind of van. And it had a younger girl in it, and she put her face right up to the window and put like this weird look on her face looking at us, like it was intentional, right? And like if you could just like picture that, like putting your face up as close as you could to like the window of the car. She was in the passenger seat, and she intentionally kind of made her face like an ugly face, like and I was like, I just said to my husband, I said, like, what is the point of that? Like, why? And he goes, I don't know. He said, that is just strange. So I don't know. But anyways, we're good at ignoring stuff. So we just didn't really pay attention to any of that. But it's weird. And you just don't believe that. I mean, not that I would never think that other people aren't being honest, but when you're actually seeing that behavior yourself, you're just that's for real. That behavior's for real. Like, my goodness. And it was just myself and my husband there when it happened, thank goodness. All right, let's go over to the Globe and Mail. Now, two things I want to let you guys know. Lindsay from the Globe and Mail. Now, I've seen some foolishness going on about, I don't pay any attention to that stuff. If I see it on a video, I usually just come out of it, because by the time I see that it comes up on I'm watching a video and then I see that that's the material that's in it, I'm just like, okay, I'm tapping out of this. But yeah, I know there was some silliness going on there, something about Lindsay and Nick and all this foolishness. So I'm just going to be honest with you guys. I'm going to tell you guys. Just because you don't see an article with somebody in it in the media, an article or a camera interview, it doesn't mean that a reporter isn't in discussions with somebody behind the scenes. And so the court hearing that I attended of Daniels, I know for a fact that Lindsay has been in communication with Malaya. And I mean, sometimes stories, come out down the road as a journalist is gathering information. So, for example, when we all read that story that was told about everything that was going out in Lansdowne during the whole time that, that whole week of what was going on during the search for the children when they first went missing. And then that story come out later, but it was about the whole first 7 days of when the children first went missing. So Lindsay is in contact with Malaya. Lindsay has had a face-to-face, I don't know how many conversations, but she and Malaya have had face-to-face. So whatever this foolishness is going on, I don't know, but people saying, that, oh, a mother that's not speaking to the media and blah, 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 blah. Well, I can tell you that I 100% for a fact know that Lindsay has in contact with Malaya and has actually had face-to-face, sat with her, and had conversation with her. So part of what is in this Globe and Mail article, because I did not see Lindsay there at the search. I saw CTV there. As I said, he was with us the whole afternoon. Allie, who's from CBC, Allie Thompson, she was a part of the search. She was a searcher. So there's no doubt in my mind she'll be coming out with an article as well. I seen her talking with Cindy. I'm sure she talked with Malaya. I've seen her talking with other people there. She came and talked to me. So she was actually a searcher. She was on a search team. Her and another individual who works for CBC. There you go. Allie was on Lori's team. So there you go. So I'm sure eventually Allie's probably going to have some stuff she's going to come out with. So the reporters are around the whole situation with Malaya. They are having discussions with the family. It's just it's probably more of that investigative journalism thing that you're going to see eventually come out, not like the CTV where he's just there to get the story for the day and a quick, oh yeah, this is Nick from Ontario. How many searches around? Okay. And slap that on the news. It's probably going to be a more investigative, long-term, get the right information, like, you know what I mean? But a little bit of what is in this with Jack and Lily from the Global News that was just put out, I believe is from previous conversations that Lindsay had with Malaya. I don't believe this is from the day of the search because I did not see Lindsay there. I did not see the Globe and Mail there. Did you see the Globe and Mail there, Lori? And then I think she was sent probably some pictures from somebody at the search. She probably asked, like, can you guys send me some pictures and I'll do up an article, because she already had conversations prior with Malaya. No, I didn't either. So, but I know she had already been talking to Malaya. I know that. So, yeah. So I don't know. Maybe Cheryl sent her the pictures. Maybe Allie from CBC, because it looks. Do you know who took you're in one of the pictures, Lori? That picture with you guys all in it on the ground. Who took that picture? Was that CBC? If that's the case, it would have been Allie that sent the pictures to Lindsay to use for her article. I just clued in. You're in that picture. So you would know who took it. It must have been the photographer that was with Lindsay or with Allie. Am I right? It was Allie. So Allie gave Lindsay those pictures for her article. I knew it. Yeah, the fellow with her, he had the professional camera. He's CBC as well, because he was at the courthouse. The day we were at the courthouse, he was at the courthouse. And he's a very nice gentleman. Yes, he was helping me. He saw me with the cane and he was like, do you need help? I was trying to stack up the sandwich trays. Right. So Allie sent those pictures. I knew it. Man, I'm smart. I put that all together. So Allie sent those pictures to Lindsay, and Lindsay did her article up based on, yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure Lindsay had those pictures. Maybe I'm getting confused because I was so tired when I watched these articles, but we're going to bring up the Globe and Mail. Am I getting them mixed up? No, well, that was Lindsay that had it in the Globe and Mail. But they're Allie's photos. Because when you look at those photos, because I was like, I didn't see Lindsay there or Globe and Mail there. And we were there all day until we left and drove some people home that were wore out. And I was trying to understand, like, how did Lindsay get these pictures? And then when you look at the pictures, it says, it doesn't, like, because when they take their pictures, they usually put their name at the picture, that it was them that took it. And that's not what it says on the pictures. It says supplied. So that means somebody gave it to them, right? So that was my first clue. Like, okay, so she wrote this article based on when she was talking to Malaya before, because I knew that I knew she had been talking to Malaya. Nobody else knew that. I didn't say anything. Shan didn't say anything. We knew that, but we didn't say anything. Because they're going to eventually come out with their articles, right? So you just let them do what they're doing, and then they're going to come out with their articles. Which is really hard because you hear people shitting on them, saying she's not even speaking to the media and blah, blah, blah. Not that I don't care less if a parent speaks with the media or not. I've already shown cases where the mothers had nothing to do with their children missing, but they just couldn't speak out like that to the media besides one initial first time, but I could care less. But people are saying that in the background, she is talking to the media, but you're not really supposed to say anything. And you can't say anything and say, well, no, actually, she is talking to the media. You guys just don't know it because you can't say anything. So that's a little difficult, listening to somebody getting crapped on. So then when I saw Lindsay did this article, that's why I was like, okay, I'm just going to tell people, yes, Malaya has been speaking behind the scenes for a while now, because Lindsay's article is not based on the other day during the search. It's based on previous conversations she's been having with her for a while now. So, all right. So let's listen to it. We'll take this one off. I think it's important to know exactly what's going on because it makes more sense when you know that. Because you're trying to make sense of this article, and especially for me, because I was there at the search, and I'm thinking, Lindsay wasn't there. Where did Lindsay get these pictures? And there's no way that interview is from that day. So then when I can put all the pieces of the puzzle together and go, oh, that's from previous conversations, and Allie probably gave her these pictures. And then it starts to make sense. So in this picture, we have Malaya. Oh, let me make it bigger. Oh, I guess that's as big as. Let me make the screen bigger. Okay, so you have Malaya, Nick, Angelina, and I'm not sure who that gentleman is. And you have Lori. And I believe that is Cheryl, Janice, and these three women in the back, I'm not sure who they are. That guy is Bruce. I didn't meet him. And I'm not sure who the three women in the back are, but they're searchers. They're all searchers. They're all searchers. Yeah.
Jack and Lily Sullivan's mother. Jack and Lily Sullivan's mother. Jack and Lily Sullivan's mother joins search party nearly a year after their disappearance. This is an article by Lindsay Jones and read to you by an AI-generated voice. Nearly a year after two Nova Scotia children mysteriously disappeared, their mother, Malaya Brooks Murray, joined an independent search team on Sunday. The group of about 40 volunteers and a human remains detection dog combed backwoods trails near the home where Jack and Lily Sullivan were reported missing in the rural community of Lansdowne, discovering one possible clue that has been passed on to police. Nick Oldreeve, executive director of Please Bring Me Home, an Ontario-based charitable organization that helps find missing people in Canada, said a child-sized boot print was found in a wooded area of the Pipeline Trail, less than a kilometer from where a piece of Lily's pink blanket was found last May. He said he sent the GPS coordinates and a photo to RCMP major crime investigators. "It's definitely a children's boot print," said Mr. Oldreeve. "It's just, how can you ever possibly know whose it is and when it was put there? I have no idea." Ms. Brooks Murray, 28, has been publicly silent for the most part about the disappearance of Lily, who was 6, and Jack, who was 4, at the time they went missing. Only now, after nearly a year, is she beginning to speak out, sharing new details in an interview with The Globe and Mail. She and her then live-in boyfriend, Daniel Martel, told police that they were dozing in bed mid-morning with their toddler on May 2nd when they awoke and realized Jack and Lily were gone. They said the children must have put on their boots, gone out the back sliding door, and wandered off into the woods. What happened to the two siblings has confounded police and struck a chord around the world. The widely publicized case has spurred a hotbed of conjecture and rumors in the online true crime community, much of it aimed at Ms. Brooks Murray and Mr. Martel, who are no longer together. One criticism leveled at Ms. Brooks Murray is that she left Lansdowne the day after her children disappeared, taking the couple's toddler with her. Soon after, she blocked communication with Mr. Martel. In a recent interview, Ms. Brooks Murray said she left because she felt overwhelmed and upset after hearing from police about the vast area that had been searched without any sign of Jack and Lily. Over the last year, she said she's been focused on cooperating with police, looking after her mental health, and caring for her toddler. A member of Sipitnakatik First Nation, she now lives in an apartment in Millbrook, a Mi'kmaq community near the town of Truro, with a cat and a kitten. She said she recently underwent a second polygraph exam with RCMP, and they told her that she was found to be truthful. Mr. Oldreeve said he involved Ms. Brooks Murray in the search because she hasn't done anything to show ill intent or anything against locating her children. He said he's been openly communicating with her about their disappearance, and she never shies away from answering questions. Even though she's been quiet in the public, it doesn't suggest guilt, and I think that's what a lot of public scrutiny has been. Because she's so quiet, she must be guilty. And that's just the opposite of how we feel, said Mr. Oldreeve. Throughout the last year, she has spoken briefly to the Globe and Mail a few times to deny any involvement in the disappearance of her children, to say she's taking it day by day, and that she is hopeful that Jack and Lily are still alive. Under Blue Skies Sunday, Ms. Brooks Murray assisted with transportation of the searchers. She drove a four-wheeled off-road vehicle, traveling between different groups of searchers to check on them and ensure they had water. She was just thankful to be there and be involved, very grateful for everybody coming out there, Mr. Oldreeve said. In the days and weeks that followed the children's disappearance, the Mounties oversaw one of the largest searches in the province's history. Mr. Oldreeve said his group returned to search again. It also searched last fall because the children wandering off has not been completely debunked. He said his experience in missing persons cases leads him to believe something may have been overlooked. One way or the other, they're eventually going to be found, either due to misadventure or the police are going to come up with something that turns this in a completely different direction, he said. RCMP have said the investigation is focused on digital forensics, and they're evaluating all scenarios for what may have happened to the kids, including criminality. In an email, RCMP spokesperson Alison Gerard said police are aware of and support the efforts by the independent search group Please Bring Me Home, PBMR, which is separate from the police investigation. The RCMP continues to support PBMH's efforts to find the Sullivan children and sincerely thanks those who volunteer their time in the search, Ms. Gerard said. Neither Mr. Martel nor his mother, Janie McKenzie, who lives on the property in Lansdowne, responded to requests for comment about the independent search. Mr. Martel has previously denied having anything to do with the children's disappearance. The search will continue Monday and Tuesday.
So again, keep in mind when you're listening to that, what is in that regarding Malaya with her conversation with, not Allie. I get them mixed up. Not Allie, but, oh my goodness, what's her name? Lindsay. I believe is already from previous conversations with her, because I know for a fact that they have had discussions and face to face. So Little Black Bear says, may I ask, does M think her children are unalive or alive? In my opinion, just asking, that's all. In my opinion, from what I've heard and what I see, she, you know, I know many people believe whatever took place with the children, she had involvement, right? If there was something nefarious that took place. I personally do not believe that. And I do believe, in my opinion, and she has stated, she does not know. So when you don't know if your children are unalive or alive. If they're not alive or alive. So you're always going to hold out. So somebody else had asked down here, and thank you to the Globe and Mail. Credit to them, and credit also to Jonathan McGinnis from CTV News for the other article that we had listened to. Somebody else had asked as well, how can Malaya be hopeful if the kids... How can Malaya be hopeful? The kids are still alive. If the kids are still alive, I'm not sure what you're saying there, but again, when you don't know, and we went through that. If you go back and watch the video I did, and it was missing children and their loved ones, and we went through, first of all, and I'll just pull this one individual out of that video. There was others, but Polly Klaas, who went missing, abducted from her home, and how it stated that the mother basically went in hiding, and she just, was unable to speak out and was not, media would ask her to speak, and she was very closed up, and she had nothing to do with her children's disappearance. But also in that video, we went over all the parents, moms, and fathers of missing children, and everyone said the same thing. No matter what, because you don't know, you always hold out hope. And that's one thing Malaya has constantly said. It's in her letter, it's in her information to Sonny. So when you don't know, you still hold out for that hope that yes, they could be alive. They could have been kidnapped. Something else could have taken place where they can still be alive. You hold on to that hope, but you still also do searches because there's two ends of the spectrum here. They could still be alive, and you're holding on to that little tiny bit of hope, right? or the other end of the spectrum, right? That's something more horrific took place. Either they did wander off out there or something nefarious and they're not alive. So you have two ends of the spectrum as a parent of a missing child. But I know if you're a believer that, something nefarious took place in her and Daniel had something to do with it, it's hard for you to think that way that I just explained, because your mind's not going to go that way, because you have other theories, right, of what took place here. So am I, Ginger. So am I. Yeah. And she is talking to media now. Not that I think that's necessary. I don't. I'm not a believer that a mother must talk to media, or that means some kind of guilt. Yeah. Yes, therapy, exactly. Therapeutic. Therapeutic, like it's all therapeutic, and she's trying to build work on those parenting skills with the baby, because the baby M comes to her house for visits, right? So, and it does say in there about caring for her baby or her child, however it was worded. So that is a part of what's going on as well, right, in her life right now. So the mental health, the therapy with the animals, and although the baby M is with, a foster family, which is on the same reserve where her Malaya's home is, her apartment, and she has those visits with the baby at her apartment. So, it's going through the steps of caring for her child, her remaining child that is in her life right now. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it seems like, there's definitely a step forward she has taken, for sure. Nova, I'm glad you have an open mind. It's really hard to sort through and figure it out. Yeah, it is. And I do try to be open-minded, neutral, and take a look at everything. Sorry, but she shines have been up with them in the morning. I don't disagree. I don't disagree. And I've always said, hands down, no matter what, that morning, I don't know about any other day or any other whatever, that morning for sure, there was some neglect that took place, not just by her, right? By three adults on a property. Yeah, and by CPS. I agree. Somebody said about smiling. Yes, yeah, I get you. Yeah, I knew what you meant. Somebody said about her smiling. I will tell you, the whole time that I saw Malaya, I did not see her smile once. Her face is very drawn. You can see the look on her face in that picture there. She's not smiling there. I did have very short interaction with her and hugged her and had a very short conversation, which, there's nothing, I'll just keep that to myself. But there's no happiness radiating from her. I can tell you that. There was no smiling. There's no laughter. There's no happiness radiating from her at all. I will tell you that. And it wasn't just me that, saw that. My husband saw it as well. Yeah. It was just stated Malaya thinks the kids are still alive. She has hopes, as any parent with missing children does. If you go back and watch that video I did, I went to so many different videos of different parents talking, different cases, and every single one of them said the same thing. Hope. They all have hope that the child is still alive. When you don't know, when you have no idea, you're going to hold on to that they're still alive, but you still have to be open to other possibilities as well, as hard as that is. And I imagine it would take longer to come to that, to be able to allow that into your mind, right? Like at first it would just be that they're alive, and then hope, holding on to the hope, and then finally coming to the realization that there is the other end of the spectrum here, that they may not, they're possibly not alive, right? And then you start to be able to accept that as well as holding on to hope. Yes. And when her and I had a very quick talk, it was around that support. Yeah. And I would say it was more of a, just a brief greeting, hug, and a few words. And it was based on support. Yeah. Well, anyone on that property that day. Yes, neglect took place too. I mean, when you hear children out in the, my grandson was here and I heard him out in the yard. And first of all, he's supposed to be in school that day. I'd want to know if he's properly dressed. You should just never hear a child on your property out in the morning and not address that. Whether it's going in and saying, to my son and his fiance, hey, get up out of bed. Your son's outside. It's time to get up and make him some breakfast or whatever, right? Or letting the parents sleep in and go, no, let them sleep in today. Mom's not feeling good. Daniel was up all night driving a car around town. Maybe I'll get up and make the kids breakfast this morning. So, and I mean, I'm sorry, but that's just the fact of it. All three of them should have behaved much better that morning, for sure. There's no dispute there. Right. Yeah, just because CPS is involved does not mean she's not actively involved with the care of her child. Well, exactly. It's all about the care of her child. What do you think? What do you think's going on there? She's not sitting there on a computer playing video games and texting her friends. The whole thing is about her caring for her child. And that's what it's all about. Yeah, would be nothing else but. Yes, exactly. Yeah. She's working on her parenting and health is huge. Yeah. Yeah, big time. Okay. There's lots of comments there. I know that they're all awesome. I am seeing them, and thank you. Thank you for all the nice things that you guys are saying. I can see. Yeah, you're saying I'm diplomatic and respectful, and thank you. What I want to do now is go over to the video that I took, because what they mentioned in that article as well is about a boot print. So coincidentally, my husband and I had drove a couple of people back to town because they got so wore out, and it was nearing the end of the search anyways. And so there was probably about another hour of the search left. So we said we'll drive them back into town and we'll just stay in town now, because the lunches were all done. Everybody had their coffee and tea. But coincidentally, the couple that we had in our car, they were in the group that found the boot print. And so they were telling us about it, that not on this video, but one of the things they had told us during the car ride back was that there was a boot print found. And I kind of thought, well, like, it's a year later, and I mean, a boot print, like, I'm not you're just kind of thinking a year later, a child's blueprint, like, and they said, yeah, well, the thing that struck them was that it was like quite a bit a ways up on the pipeline, and it was just one boot print, and it was child size, and it was like right in the middle of the trail, the pipeline trail, and it was just one boot print. So they called it in just to be sure, just to make sure. I mean, you'd hate not to, and you'd end up, it'd be interesting if they took a cast of that and it ended up being the same as the boot print that they already have, that they say is the same size as Lily's. I mean, you just don't know. You don't know. So you got to rule it out, right? So they did call it in. Yeah. And, I mean, there are people out there with kids, and they do take kids for walks and stuff. And I mean, of course, the pipeline would be an awesome spot. It's wide open. It'd be an awesome spot to go through and take your child for a walk or on the four-wheelers. So, if that boot print match, you're saying the same thing I said. See? Yeah, exactly. Your brain is like my brain. If that boot print matches the one from a year ago, somebody still has the boots and is playing games. Possibly. I mean, it'll be weird. It only takes a cast. It's not like this is a big chunk of money to go up there and do a cast of a boot print and compare it to the other one they already have, right? Like, so, I mean, I know some people are like, oh, come on, yeah, whatever, it's a boot print, like, get real. Well, doesn't take much effort to cast that and compare it to the other one. Yeah, so it will be interesting to see, in my opinion. Yeah. Did I miss? Okay, so we have Ginger, Liz, Cool, and Ginger. Okay, I thought I might have missed saying thank you to some of the people who gave gifts. I'll go over the gifts again in the end too, the gifted memberships in case I missed anybody. Yeah, so I'll go over to this video and I'll play you the video of, and you have to excuse my husband. I almost want to put it on pause because he was so shocked by what the trailer looked like, and he voiced it out loud. And then he even said to me later, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have did that, but I was so shocked. Okay, so just let me get this video up here first, and then we'll play it. Okay, so this video is of Nick. This is when we're getting ready to take the two individuals back to town. My gosh, were they ever wore out? You could tell, especially the female. These guys are from Amherst, so they came from Amherst to assist with the search. That is in the next county over. And they were so exhausted, especially her. You could just see it on her face. Like, oh, I felt so bad for her because I could just see the look on her face of how wore out. And she has arthritis, and you could tell she was in pain. I felt so bad for her. So I'll play this one first, and then we'll play the other one.
Just this, right?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, all good.
Hey, it's official.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so you guys are off from here too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
We'll see
Thank you so much. You're the best, guys.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Nick, for everything you're doing.
Thanks, Nick.
Hi, ladies.
I'm not a lady.
I'm joking. He did say it was going to be two ladies.
Yeah.
These are two of the searchers that we're going to take back to town.
You're a hairy lady.
Just this, right?
Yeah.
He kept saying it's two ladies we're taking back to town. So I was joking and saying, hi, ladies, because he kept saying two ladies. And I was looking at that guy and I was like, that's not a lady, that's a man. Oh my. All right, we'll play the other one. So when I'm talking, it's to the two that you just saw in the back seat. And then we start driving, and I'm showing my husband because I'm trying to explain to him what the black house, and there's Daniel. There's the trailer that the kids went missing from. And they're in the back as well, and they're talking too as I'm explaining stuff. So, but you have to excuse my husband because he blurts out, "Oh my God." Okay, I was
That's it.
videotaping
Yeah.
before then. I want to videotape. There's the black house, guys. The infamous black house. Have you guys? Are you guys?
history on that? No.
Oh, you guys are not following this on YouTube.
Not the. No.
Okay, so
Yes, I will be. Does that have to do with the kids?
there's a story behind it. I'll tell you in a minute. So slow down some, because the next place is
Trailer.
the trailer.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Who thinks that the kids walked from that trailer down that road
No,
and
they
all the way
didn't.
up that dirt road and then decided, because where you guys were at the pipeline there, that was all grown in. It's cut now, but when they went missing, that was all grown in. And then they decided, okay, let's go off this perfectly good dirt road and turn off into the woods here.
No.
It just doesn't seem likely.
Too much distance there.
Okay, I was
That's it.
videotaping
Yeah.
before then. I want to videotape. There's the black house, guys. The infamous black house. That wasn't too bad. I thought it was much worse when he said that about the house when he saw the trailer. Well, you couldn't get a cell. Okay. You could not get a cell signal. We were on one side of the pipeline, and my husband couldn't get a cell signal there. And then we went over to the other side of the pipeline because it was after the food was all gone, and we wanted to get some of the sun over on the other side. So we turned the truck around and parked the other way. And then he got a signal. So it is so spotty, but you could, like, from one side of the road over to the other. Like, he was like, "Oh my gosh, now get real. We just moved across the street." And I said, "No, apparently that's what it's like. It's spotty. So you could be in one spot, move across the road, and now you got a cell signal. Very strange." Little Black Bear, question over, will there be even more searches for Jack and Lily? Yeah. Yep. They'll continue. Yeah, I don't know too much about that, just that they will continue. Yeah. Yes, I put him, he's on my channel, Carrie. Yeah, I have him on the Novah's Inquest Facebook, Facebook, not channel. Yep, I have his picture on there. Yep. No, I didn't see Haley. But like I said, yeah, they could be at the yesterday, today, tomorrow, I don't know. Yeah. Cool J, I agree. Yeah. And I think some did. Like there were some other searches going on, and I do believe some of them were outside the 8-kilometer. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so now we'll play. This is the video from Stevie Wonder, and this is one of the search groups. This is the search group that my son was in as well. We'll play that. Gosh. Like there is no clearing.
I know.
Jeez.
Okay. Yep, we're all here. Right on.
There's one little clearing to give them a break. And then you can go again.
Yep. Okay, no 7.
Hi, Tambourine. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Cindy, yes. Yes. I gave Cindy a hug and
This ain't no joke.
shared a couple of words, and she came over and thanked me for all the food. She said to say thank you to everyone. That's actually my son in front of him, I think, that he's got on camera. Sue, I just told everyone that that's not me with Brad Wong and Brian Ward. Oh, my husband and I keep laughing at that. And I actually teased him yesterday. He was going out to get something. I always give him a kiss goodbye when he's leaving, and I gave him a kiss and I said, "I'll see you later, Brian." And he laughed.
Yeah, it would have came in handy, yeah. Or machete or something. I'll be better prepared next time.
My son wanted to take his machete, and I told him no. That's actually my son talking to him. I can tell by
By the way,
voice.
hello everyone.
Hi, Steve.
Just wanted to show everyone what kind of conditions we're dealing with today. Worth every second. Find these children.
Cool J, I agree.
Anyhow, we'll talk to you later. We're still searching.
Wonderful. I agree. I was a little confused on that myself. I don't doubt it definitely could not be a radius. So I don't know. I don't know. Cheryl, that's nice. Yeah, yeah. My son was like, I want to bring my machete. And I said, no weapons. And he's like, and he kept saying it. Are you sure? I really think I should bring it. It'll help. And I said, no. And that's all you need. Somebody out there getting injured on their friggin' machete. But that was him in front of Steve, and that was him talking to Steve. I could tell by his voice. Yes. Yeah. Truro, next county over. Yeah. And so then my son was telling me, and also the two that we drove back into town, what they would run into is the loggers are out there logging and they're cutting trees down. And so there's great big stacks of logs everywhere that they also had to try to get around. And apparently those loggers were had conversations, I think, probably with RCMP and to be, as they're working out there, to please keep an eye out and remember the kids could be out there and to report anything unusual. Yeah. I'm going back looking at the comments. Thank you guys. Thanks. Yeah. At Novah, is there other children or people missing in that area that you all could possibly stumble across looking? Not in that exact area, but Dillon and Truro, which is the next county over. But not in that area. But there has been a man and a 13-year-old also found out that way off of the Garlic Road, different areas, but out that way. Yeah. Yes, I knew that was him. I could tell by his voice. And it's funny you said the machete because he kept saying to me he wanted to bring his machete. And I was like, no, jeez, that's all you need to do is take that out there and somebody get hurt with a machete. Yes, the battery powered chainsaw. Yeah. That's what my husband has. Yes. I'm so proud of all the searchers too. They deserve so much credit. I don't know if you guys saw Lori's foot, but man, she got one wicked blister on her foot. And that hurts when you take your shoe off too. Ugh. Because the blood dries up and then it's stuck and you got to get the sock off too and you got to wet it all to get it off. Yeah. Yep, it was loggers that found Kevin. Yep, exactly. Yeah, yes, many down trees, had to climb over, sometimes hard to crawl under. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, a big thank you to all the searchers, food servers, the dog and the dog handler. God bless you all. Absolutely. Yeah. Like, and guys, people were focused on what they were there to do. Let me tell you, there's no foolishness, no, like, just totally focused on what you're there to do. And that's it. And I, like a couple of times I got teary because I'm looking at these people going out and searching and sacrificing themselves. Some of them are going to end up with a blister. Whatever happened to Shan, she had blood all over her face and on her hands. And, they're going to end up and just how it plays on your mind as well. And the lady that we had in the car driving back, like I said, I could see the look on her face, and my heart just went out to her. And she was all kind of, when you're in pain and you kind of snuggle yourself, and she was kind of hunched forward because she has bad arthritis, and then it started to kick in, and she was in so much pain, and I felt so bad for her. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, is she? So what happened? Did she say what happened? I seen a picture with the blood, but I had to get ready for my live, so I didn't have time to really look into it. Um, yeah, God bless all of you who helped in any way. Prayers for Jack and Lily. Thank you. There is a map of what has been searched. Yes. Yeah. Okay. I just want to go over my notes here and make sure I didn't miss anything. There was maybe some other stuff I wanted to show you guys. So I met quite a bit, the searchers who are chatters. A lot of them were here today. So Belinda Believes, there she is. I met Belinda. I know Lori. Odessa, I met Odessa. I met Holly Jolly. I met, I don't know if I met Stevie Wonder, but he was there. Oh no, I hope Shan feels better soon. Yeah. I met Artie Man. Artie Man. I met him. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Oh, there was another. Or was that Holly Jolly? Oh, if I missed anybody and you're here and you remember that you met me, just say something, because I think there might have been one more chatter that I met. Johnny, yes, Johnny, yes. We saw each other in the hall as we were all going out to get the sandwiches. Yep. Yeah, yep, yep. Okay, so there's some other pictures I want to show you guys. I'm going to go over to the community. So my husband because I didn't have my phone, as I said, I had to give it to my son because his fiance had to take their phone to Newfoundland. She has the baby, so it was more important for her to have that phone. So I lent him my phone out on the search. So I couldn't take pictures, or I would have had a lot more pictures or videos and videos. But we'll go over to the community and I'll show you the pictures that my husband did take. And one of them, he actually didn't know who Malaya was. So, and then I told him afterwards that was Malaya. And he was like, oh, I didn't realize that was her. That's when we get into the conversation. Like he said, I noticed that, how drawn that her face was. And because he seen me go over and I was chit-chatting a little bit with her and hugged her and stuff. And he said I could tell, something was going on there because her face looked so drawn, and you could sense no happiness there, so sad. But so when he took this picture, he did not realize that was Malaya in the picture. So I'll go over to YouTube and pull that up. Just give me 1 second. Just 1 second, guys. That shouldn't be covering their face up like that. Maybe I have to make it bigger. I don't like how it's doing that. Why is it covering their faces? Well, I put that picture of Lily and Jack in there, but I don't understand why it's covering their faces up like that. It shouldn't be doing that. Don't like that. So that's the picture he took there. So you can see, and as you notice, the very first thing I noticed, the everybody, well, 2 people are together there. They're all together. And then Malay is kind of standing off on her own. And I saw that a lot. Alone, head hung a lot, and face very drawn. Just very, very, like you can really sense a loneliness and a sadness, honestly. Yeah. Okay, what's going on here? And that's the picture of the dog handler. Those are the pictures that were in the news in that article, because these pictures are attached to the article. That's another picture my husband took, and that's obviously their husband and wife or boyfriend and girlfriend there giving each other a hug before they go off to search. Yeah, but so that there is Malaya, and see if I can make that bigger for you. I believe that's Cindy right there. And that's the guy from CBC. That's Nick. That's Lori. But as I said, you kind of see Malaya standing off on her own there. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, and that's what I had said to her. The small, because I don't want to get in anybody's space or bother them, but I do want to let her know that people are thinking of her children and her, and that there is support for this situation, the whole situation, and her missing children. And so I did let her know that. Yeah. Yeah. And like this is what, like I said, and I'm being very honest, this is what I noticed a lot. Like her just alone, and and just that very, very sad look, and lonely, sad look. Yeah. Yeah. When we were in the hotel at the briefing, of course, you're in a crowded room then, and people are seated, and she was seated by people then. Cheryl was beside her, and Angeline was beside her as well. And but outside of that, anytime in situations like this, she kind of stood off alone. Yeah. Yeah, it is sad. Yeah. I know. I know. It's so heartbreaking. You just wish that you're like this big giant and you could just see where they are and just pluck them up, from wherever they are. And so sad. She's looking on as if it's surreal to her that people care. Yeah, it breaks my heart. Yeah. And like honestly, still a look of shock on her face as far as I'm concerned, like the disbelief look. Yeah. I think it took a lot of courage for Malay to go back to that place, I would say, for sure. Definitely takes courage. And I was kind of glad that like what they did was just had her delivering some food and water. And I think that would be very hard for any loved one, and especially a parent, to be right in there involved. And taking that chance that if they are out there, that she's going to find them. A few days, I believe they're back out today, and I believe they're going back out he said they're going to try to go back out Wednesday as well, but he couldn't say for 100% sure. That was the plan. Now, of course, that's all tentative, right? Things can change. Yeah. She probably felt a little self-conscious. Yes, absolutely. Around so many strangers, knowing what some people have said. Yep. We were all supportive of her on Sunday. She seems shy, very pretty girl. Yes, she does seem shy. Yeah, and very beautiful. Yes, beautiful girl. But definitely, she would definitely have that self-conscious thing going on, right? For sure. Yeah. I offered mental health support in my application, 25 years experience. I think it's important during the search. Absolutely. Hopefully I will get a response next time. I agree, Tambourine. Yes. Yeah. If I was her, I'd be praying that my children would not be found alone in the woods. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. I hope they let her stay at the back of the searching just in case they are found. Yeah. Yeah. Well, basically that's what they did. She was just delivering water and snacks and which was quite a job because the searchers are spread out. So you have to try to get to all those people that you go and check first. Do you need water? Do you need food? Basically, you're taking orders like you're in a restaurant, but these people are spread all over the forest. And then you have to go back and get it and then take it back to them. Yeah. I'd find that hard because I wouldn't remember where to go back to. Yeah, definitely shy. Yeah. Nova kept her mind busy and she was being helpful. Exactly. Right on. Yeah. No parent should ever have to be the one to find their children unalived. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Oh, I don't even want to say the things I'm thinking. Nick handled the assignments well, in my opinion, but she needed a buddy by her side. Sometimes there would be somebody with her on it. Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. On the four-wheeler. When she was on the four-wheeler, there would be somebody with her sometimes, not all the time. Yeah. I'm wishing everyone, MBM and family, as well as BG and family. Yeah, Belinda. Yes, absolutely. And that'll be I got to bring that up because the next thing coming up, May 2nd, is the Gathering of the Hearts at Stellarton RCMP. And Family Strength is 1 year marks the approach. Let me do it right now while I'm thinking of it, because if I don't, I'm going to forget. Oh, there we go. Yep. 1 year, May 2nd. So a gathering of the hearts seeking justice for Lily Mae and Jackie Boy. Join us on May 2nd, 2 p.m. at the Stellarton RCMP station. Yeah. How was the ground search? Still frozen, and was there snow in the woods? And did Belinda get to sit with you, at least if she couldn't search? I don't think Belinda was there. Belinda definitely would have been welcome to come sit with me. Her and I could have chatted away if she wanted to. But I don't even know if that Belinda was there. And I don't know if that video that they showed there didn't show any snow in the woods, but I thought the same thing. I was thinking there'll probably be patches of snow in the woods because there usually still is this time of year around here. I remember the emotional upset of very first search teams. Yep. It was so sad and hard on them. Yep. Yep. And you could see it on their face. Definitely. You like, oh, I will have to watch from the start this evening. Bless all the searches. Thank you, Star Child. Lots of love to you and positive vibes. I think she knows where her kids are. Do you? I don't have that feeling. I really don't. But none of us know. None of us know, hopefully, until this is figured out by the RCMP. At the end of the day, none of us know, but it's just not what I'm picking up on. She followed the truck with the ATV. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. I just can't imagine. I just can't. All the things that must go through her mind, they are not my babies. And the things that go through my mind, right. Trying to think of what ifs and maybes. Yeah. Yeah. Malaya doesn't have some timers like some of us. She is younger. Yeah, that's right. Yes. So she would remember where to go back to. Yeah, with the orders. I got you. Hi, Ginger's mom. I'm so upset that there's still no answers. Today, my daughter has been gone a year. Aw, Mary, I'm sorry to hear that. I've been a mess all year. So sorry to hear that. Much love to you. Little Bear PTSD and cold do much worse than sometimes. Yeah, that's true. That is true. Yeah. Yeah, you're working on your posters now. Yep, working on my posters now. Even though I can't be there. Well, yeah, you can still show your posters. I will be there May 2nd. Can't wait to meet Belinda and Chelsea. Yeah. Yeah. CPTSD, it should have said yes. Yeah. Gotcha. Sending you a big hugs and comfort, Mary. Yes, absolutely. So sorry. May God be with you. Yes. That's the hardest thing to endure. And I don't care what anybody says. You can try to argue that with me. I don't care. The loss of a child is the worst thing that a parent could ever endure. For those who don't know, my daughter jumped, to her death April 28th, 2025. So the day Jack Lily went missing, I was viewing my daughter's body. Aw, no, I did not know that. Did not know that. God bless you. Yes, I knew what you meant because I was saying I couldn't remember how to get those orders back in the forest. Yeah. Mary, how awful for you sending love. Yes. Belinda stayed home with the family and made posters. There you go. So Cheryl knows. The woods had just a few spots of snow. And there you go. Mary. Belinda believes was at the search, Mary. You booked a vacation day, Lori, to attend. Good. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Mary. My brother unalived himself too, sending you love and light. We found lots of snow and ice. Oh, there you go. I'm so sorry, Mary. Hugs, Mary. Me either, Nova. Thank you all, but this is about Jack and Lily, and I know where my daughter is, so I have closure. Yeah. I don't think she knows where they are either. I still think they were abducted, and I think that's a possibility too. The RCMP said everything's still on the table. I know it's the least likely, but it happens. It's not like it's never happened before. All right, guys. I'm going to have to say goodbye because I got to be honest with you. My back is starting to kill me. We're at 2 hours and 37 minutes. Oh, what happened, Darlene? Did I miss something Darlene said? My 16-year-old granddaughter was red rummed 4 years ago every day. Aw, Darlene, I'm so sorry. So sorry. Yeah. Okay, so again, guys, a gathering of the hearts seeking justice for Lily Mae and Jackie Boy. Join us on May 2nd, 2 p.m. 2 p.m. It's not in the evening this time, it's 2 p.m. at the Stellarton RCMP station. And then the next thing after that, on May 4th, Daniel will be going back to court. So we have two things coming up here. Just let me check my notes and make sure I didn't forget anything. I don't think I did. Yep, we're good. So let me come back on screen to say goodbye to you all. Make myself a little bit bigger. There we go. Hi, everybody. Have a good evening. Lots of love, lots of positive vibes to you all. Thank you for joining us. I haven't decided May 2nd yet if I'm going to go there and do some streaming to my channel for you guys. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I will put a note in the community to let you guys know, okay? Because I definitely do want to go over and give Belinda and Chelsea a hug. So, yeah, so I will give you guys an update as to what I'm going to do for May 2nd. Okay, so lots of love, lots of positive vibes. And I will also take pictures of the receipts and we will show those on the next live so you guys can see exactly where your donations went. Yeah, so I will see you then. Bye, guys. Take care. Lots of love. Lots of positive vibes.